Okay, so we're gonna do a little interview.
Okay.
I'm gonna use this as the microphone.
Oh, I've seen these things.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
I'm not gonna turn it on at this
Okay.
point. Maybe in a bit, but this is gonna be our like microphone kind
Got
of
it.
thing. So Grace Pettis, is that your given name?
Would you care to comment? Um, yes. Yeah. Well, my first name is Margaret. My middle name is Grace, but I've gone by Grace my whole life. When I was like 3 or 4, I was Gracie.
Mm-hmm.
And then I graduated to Grace at some point. I don't really remember when. I think maybe I was like 6th grade or something.
Huh.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah. One time when I was a kid, I decided, because Margaret's a cool name. So the firstborn girl
Yeah.
in my family in every branch and generation is a Margaret something.
Hmm.
So we all have other names. Like my mom is Meg. I have a cousin who's MJ,
Yeah.
And there's a lot of great nicknames for Margaret. There's like Maggie, there's Meg, there's Margot, And then it's great if you like abbreviate it with an M whatever. So
Yeah.
it's just a great multi-purpose name. Except for Marge. That one's not so great.
Yeah.
But
Margie.
yeah, even Peggy. I had a
Oh yeah, Peggy is
a nickname. So anyway, so I decided one time I wanted to rename myself Maggie. I was like, and so my mom had signed me up for some summer camp, and I just told everybody my name was Maggie when I got there.
Uh-huh.
And then like she came to pick me up one time and was like, and they were like, Grace, who's Grace? We don't have a Grace. Like, and there was this whole confusion and
Right.
where I was. Yeah. So I just like renamed myself. There was another time in the
Can you imagine though
grade.
if you'd gone by Peggy Pettis?
That's terrible. That sounds like a comic book character.
It does.
There was one time in the 5th grade I renamed myself Bob for like an entire year.
Bob?
Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
Wow. Okay.
That was really kind of my peak year, 5th grade. I was peak me.
Yeah. Interesting. Huh.
That was the year I had Princess Leia buns and different colored socks. I wore overalls every day.
Wow.
And I just was like, I'm me. And I'm totally comfortable in my skin. And then middle school happened, and it's like horrible.
Middle school.
But yeah. But like 5th grade was like peak. I had a lot of friends. I always like came up with crazy ideas and like people were like, yeah, that sounds great. Like I invented a postal system for passing notes in class.
Who are you?
Like
That's amazing.
I was really cool when I was like
Yeah.
11. And then like the next, I don't know how many years, like
next like 3 years, yeah.
yeah, it's just kind of like how the past however many years since like 2016 have all kind of like accordioned in on themselves, like Wrinkle in Time style. And like I kind of don't remember. It's all just a blur,
Yeah, middle school. That's where the trauma comes from.
Middle school.
For real though. Oh,
Yeah.
I would not go back to middle school if you paid me $1 million.
Yeah. I have this fantasy of like if I had a kid, because David Wilcox did this, you can pull them out just for middle school and homeschool them. And like for his kid, they like got in an Airstream and like toured the country and just took the kid on tour for like 3 years and then brought him back for high school. Isn't that great? Like you get you get to do all the puberty on your own, like away from,
Right?
you know.
I
I just took him to a lot of museums and like saw the country, and then he got to be in high school.
Dang.
That's like
That's the dream, kind of.
kind of a cheat code, I think,
Right?
for life. To skip middle school.
Yeah. Dang. Yeah, middle school was rough. I was in show choir in middle school.
That does sound fun.
And that was kind of my, my
Did you get solos?
respite. A couple, yeah. I sang The Rose a cappella.
Yeah, you did.
Mm-hmm. That was my big solo.
Can you remember it?
Oh, yeah.
How's it go?
Some say love, it is a river that drowns the tender reed. Yeah.
Remember that scene in Napoleon Dynamite where he's like doing the Happy Hands Club or whatever? So good.
Amazing. Okay, so where were you born?
Tallahassee, Florida.
Okay.
And my parents lived there for a little while. They lived outside of Chapel Hill, in a town called Carborough in a trailer park for a while,
Okay.
and then they moved to Atlanta, and shortly thereafter got divorced, and then, they did the minivan hostage exchange thing in like Cartersville, Georgia, and I grew up in Atlanta, in Decatur, and also on Lookout Mountain in Alabama, in Mentone. So, kind of both places.
She's making her bed.
She's just like, yeah. I know, it's so funny. She's arranging it exactly the way she wants it.
She said, ooh, more harmonies.
Yeah.
There will be more harmonies. Don't worry.
She's working on the feng shui over here. Sorry.
Yeah. Do you come from a musical family?
Yes.
Yeah.
Going back like 4 generations, like
Wow.
everyone in my family plays music or like writes or sings or all of the above. Like my mom plays the fiddle and the piano and the guitar and sings and writes and is a poetry professor and scholar. My dad has been a troubadour for like 5 decades now. And 2 of my brothers are working singer-songwriters. One of them is also in the National Guard, and the other one is a ethnomusicologist. But they also are like songwriters that put out records and play shows. And then our youngest brother, Owen, he's our half-brother, and he still has a chance at normalcy, so we'll see what happens with him. But my aunt is a professionally trained, like she was trained in opera and like classical singing and stuff. My grandfather on my mother's side was like this tenor. Yeah, did he get like a scholarship for that? I can't remember. And then he was the poetry professor. And then his wife played the piano and was so good that she got into Juilliard but didn't go because she got married because it was the 40s or whatever. But she was really cool, my grandmother, and she was really smart and every bit his equal. And then my other grandparents, my grandfather on my dad's side played the trumpet, and my grandmother on that side played the piano, and she went to Auburn University, which is where they met, and they used to play together. And then she was so good that when she was waiting tables in Auburn, the other waitresses would like pool their tips and give her a percentage of their tips so that she would just play the piano and entertain everybody while they worked. Because, this is before Spotify or whatever. And they both played at church, and so I come from, and my great-grandmother, so her mother was a poet who wrote just like a bunch of poetry, and that was never published, and nobody knew who she was. She was a little school teacher in nowhere, Alabama, that nobody's ever heard of, but she wrote books and books of poetry and had walls that were lined with books. And
do those still exist somewhere?
The poetry, I think one of my aunts has. Yeah. So, but yeah, it goes back, as far as we know, it just keeps going back,
Yeah.
So, and it's weird. Like I remember my ex-boyfriend one time. My mom and my stepdad got married after being together for 30 years. They got married at the courthouse, and then had like a party in the woods. And I brought my ex-boyfriend, who's a singer-songwriter, and is like the only singer-songwriter in his family.
Yeah.
And I think that's the experience of a lot of us. Like a lot of us grow up in like we're the weird ones. But in my family, like, everyone's weird. Like, I'm probably the most normal, of my siblings. And, well, that's not true. Owen probably is. But we're all weird in our own way, and so it's not weird. It's just, like, everybody's quirky, everybody's creative, and they're like, oh, he's over there, like, composing a thing? Okay, so nobody really bats an eye.
Right.
Like, and we sit around and play, and, that was just normal growing up. So, yeah, I didn't realize how special that was until I, like, moved here, and I met all the other people like me who were the only ones in their family, in their town, in their school.
My uncle he plays bass in a band, in, like, a cover band.
Do you guys, like, bond over music at all?
A little bit, yeah.
Yeah. It's nice to not just be, like, the only one,
Yeah.
As long as there's even one or two others, like, yeah, but... Yeah.
But my grandma sang in church. That's about it. My grandpa on my mom's side apparently played, like, boogie woogie piano.
That's cool.
And such. And
That's
his
really cool.
mom played piano for the silent films.
So you got it. It's in there.
I have it in my family. But I never knew my grandpa or my great grandma. because, you know, they died when I was young. I know my uncle.
It's got to be in there somewhere.
Mm-hmm.
You know, because the whole neurodivergent thing and creative thing is there's the correlation.
My mom likes to sing.
And it's all genetic, so, yeah.
Yeah.
It's, well, and the other thing, too...
And my dad and my mom are both, you know, artists as well. Just, like, you know, that, like, my dad is, he's really good at drawing.
It's creative.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They're both very creative. My mom likes to paint, and, you know...
This is what I was going to say is, like, I have this theory that, like, it's not a theory, it's a fact. Like, for many, many generations... creative women didn't have a way to express that because we didn't have jobs. We could maybe be a secretary until like the 50s. Like, so I have these generations of women who were like writers, they were poets, they were musicians. I mean, there's an article my dad found about one of our ancestors, and it's an obituary for her, and it's like she is remembered for her fine singing voice. Like, so it just goes back, but like they didn't get to do this, you know? So they made quilts. And they made dinner, and they sewed their kids' clothes, and, like, they poured all of that creativity into, you know, growing other things. Like, they made gardens, and they, you know, but they didn't get to make songs. They didn't get to make books, you know, and and my mom is a published author. Like, so it's cool, and I feel like it's really given me, like, something to think about both of my grandmothers. My song Horses, I think a lot about my grandmothers, because they both played piano. And we had that in common. And one of my grandmothers had a lot of arthritis, and I had juvenile rheumatoid arthritis. So we both had arthritis that would. So when we played the piano, it would hurt. You know, and I just like have this kind of. I had a real bond with like both of them.
Yeah.
And they were so proud of me playing music. You know.
It's awesome.
So
and those quilts were art. Yeah.
It's crazy to think that even just like 2 generations ago, like that wasn't really a career option for women. You know.
Yeah. And if there were, you know...
You could play in church.
Yeah.
Especially in the South. I mean, maybe in California.
Yeah.
But not anywhere else.
Well, yeah. I mean, my great-grandma in the 20s, you know, silent films.
Yeah, that's incredible. Yeah, that's like... Yeah, it's kind of like my friend Katie, who was a really good dancer, and we didn't have dance because rural Alabama, but we had cheerleading, so she was a cheerleader.
But like you were also supposed to learn how to play like the piano forte, or you know,
right? It was just like
expected,
good breeding or whatever.
Right, exactly.
Like, yeah, but like if a woman played in the movie theater, that's somebody who wants to play the piano and has found a way to get to do it.
Yeah,
like that's what that is. Yeah, you know, or the one who plays in church, like that's somebody who really loves it and they're finding a way to like make it a part of their life.
Right. Yeah.
Those quilts were art. They totally are art. And just because it's not in a frame doesn't mean it's not every bit as artistic. Your dad draws?
Yeah. My
horror characters?
No, well, my dad draws. He has notebooks full of sketches of, like, fantasy characters and stuff.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
So that's, like, that's the artist gene or whatever. Yeah.
Like portraits and stuff like that. Like I found him when I was a kid and I was like, these are freaking awesome.
They're amazing. Yeah.
So good.
Has he ever tried to like...
He used to draw my mom when they were dating, like cards. He would draw cards for her.
I love that. Does she save them all?
I think she still has some of them.
That's so cool.
Yeah. They might, I don't know, they might be ruined now, but just from weather and such, getting into places like the Conics box, because she's moved and you know all that kind of stuff. So
do you draw?
Kind of, yeah. I've done a few things. I'm not very good at anatomy or anything like that yet, or like, you know, but I love like landscapes.
Ooh, yeah.
Like Bob Ross.
Yeah. Do you paint also?
I have, but I'm mostly digital.
Cool. Yeah.
It's a lot less messy, and you can, you know.
What kind of digital art do you? So you do like landscapes, digital art?
A lot, yeah.
Cool.
Mostly, I've done just a few little, I don't know, things, but yeah, I've you know followed a couple of Bob Ross tutorials, like, but using the my iPad and Procreate.
I love that. That's so cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Neat.
I'll show you a couple of things.
I would love to see a couple things.
Yeah.
And the arcade.
Oh yeah,
Excited about
for
that.
sure. Okay. If who was your biggest musical influence? Because I know Trevor's gonna ask that.
Well, okay. So my dad is a musician, so I grew up hearing his music and obsessed with it.
Yeah.
So it would probably have to be him by default. But I also was really into the Indigo Girls when I was like, in like I sang my first song I ever sang on stage was "The Power of Two" with my mom. Hit for the talent show in the 5th grade.
Okay.
And because they were her favorite band, and we lived in Decatur, that's like where they're from.
Right.
So for me, they were the Beatles. You know, they were just like, oh my god, like, and they are the Beatles. And then so that was a big influence. But then the first record that I actually spent my own money on was The Miseducation of Lauryn Hill.
Oh. Okay.
And 6th grade me knew that shit was a perfect record, and 6th grade me was right, and it holds up. It is a perfect record. Like, amazing. I think there are a few perfect records, and that is one of them.
I love that. Okay. 2 more questions.
Okay. Are you not going to answer any of these for you?
I can.
I mean, what was your biggest influence?
I've got a lot, but Joan Osborne is a big one.
Oh, that's cool. Yeah.
But specifically the Relish album.
I don't know that album.
It's the one that One of Us is on.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
Great song.
But also, I mean,
that's like the only
Evanescence.
Song of hers, okay, I can see that. Yeah.
Yeah. So like, I mean, it's various. There's a record called No One Is Really Beautiful by Jude. And there's a song called I Know that was in the City of Angels soundtrack.
Okay. Yeah.
And I don't even know how many times I've listened to that album. It's so good. But it's also like his range is ridiculous. And his songwriting is so clever but also super jaded. About living in LA mostly.
Yeah.
And the world. Yeah.
Fun.
Hey, hey, baby, we gotta get out of LA.
Nice.
Yeah.
I'll have to check that out.
Definitely do. Especially I Know, but like the whole album is great. He's even got a song on there called I'm an Asshole.
Love it.
Yeah.
Timeless.
Yeah. So, yeah, those. Okay, what would your, if you were on death row, what would your final meal be?
Sushi.
Sushi.
Like, really good sushi.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
You don't want bad sushi for your last meal.
No. And that's the thing, is like, bad sushi's bad, you know?
Yeah.
But like, good sushi, so good.
Yeah.
Yeah. What about you?
I mean, sushi's up there. I'd probably also have like a steak, probably medium rare.
That'd be good. My other thing that I would maybe do, which is like the thing that I do, that I can, I sometimes have bought this for myself on my birthday, especially if I'm on tour and like cheer myself up.
Right.
Extra cheese Domino's pizza with mushrooms and black olives.
Okay.
There's just something about that that's really good. And I know it's not sushi, but it's really good.
Yeah. There you go. Okay, final question.
Okay.
And then we'll move on to the bad lip reading, which I will. Don't worry.
Somebody agreed with me on the sushi.
Some great sushi. I think it has to be my favorite meal now. Yeah.
Once you've had really good
sushi, you
get it.
Yeah. Yeah.
You can't go back.
If you were in the zombie apocalypse, what would be your weapon of choice?
Crying.
You answered that quick.
I mean, I'm a white woman. Like, what am I gonna do? Like, ask to see their manager? I don't know. Like, I would not survive a zombie apocalypse.
Fair enough. Unless
I just teamed up with some kind of, you know, fun group of marauders that were like, they liked me because I was the comic relief and I could like sing cover songs or something, like, you know, and they just kept me alive for that reason. Like, that's my only hope of survival in an apocalypse. I have no other skills. I can't cook. I'm not useful in a survival situation.
Dang.
Yeah. I honestly don't know how my bloodline has survived this long. It's kind of a mystery.
That's funny.
Maybe we're just really hot.
I mean,
I don't know. Either that or we had a wealthy ancestor, but like I don't know.
A lot of redheads in your family?
No, this is totally I do this myself.
So it's,
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I don't know. I don't know how we've survived. Honestly, like all of us are kind of helpless without a lot of help.
That's really funny.
Yeah.
I'll only survive if I can be hidden in an underground bunker and fix stuff. There you go. Don't invite Grayson to our zombie apocalypse camp. Noted.
Unless you really like puns and folk songs.
You know. You could probably learn to do something. If you know, if you had the time.
Like what?
Gardening.
Yeah.
Maybe, or cooking.
I could probably be.
I could teach you how to crochet or knit.
Yeah, maybe sewing I could get into because that's kind of creative. I don't know. I
have a sewing machine.
I could be forced to do manual labor.
There you go.
Badly and slowly.
Everybody can do something. So Penguin, what's up?
Sing
the zombies and see what they do. Oh god.
Maybe they'll be like cows where they just kind of wander over. Have you guys seen these videos on Instagram or TikTok where there's like people singing to cows and stuff and they just walk over to the fence? It really works. I tried it with my friend Natalie Price, and we were at my mom's place in Ireland, and there was a bunch of cows, and they just like all came over, like slowly. They're so slow that you can't really even tell it's happening. And like by the end of the song, they're all just like right there listening.
That's so cool.
Yeah,
I want to do that. I could tell them bad dad jokes.
Yeah, I got dad jokes. That's all I got.
There you go.
You can learn how to build fires on wet grass. I did see this article, now that I'm thinking about it, that was talking about why ADD might have been evolutionarily advantageous. And one of the theories is that we were like the fire watchers. So our job was, because we're just like, you know, squirrel. Like we're just hyper vigilant all the time. We all have anxiety and we're just, you know. So like we would know if somebody was trying to sneak up on the camp. And a lot of us stay up late and like, you know, so we were like the observant ones or whatever.
Yeah, unless you're like hyper fixated on something and it's like nothing.
Unless you're just staring at the fire.
Right.
And then the bear eats
everybody. Oh shit, I'm sorry. I didn't even know. You what?
We eat wieners and s'mores. Yeah, exactly.